Welcome back to Learn SKN, and today we have a special video for you. It's a Caribbean History, June 2017, Paper 1. So CSEC, Caribbean History, June 2017, Paper 1. Let's jump right into it. Which of the following statement is true of both Jamaica and Cuba at the time of Columbus's arrival in the Caribbean? So the answer is B. They were inhabited by Tainos. Number 2, which of the following is not an activity in which the mayor engaged? And of course, the answer is B, making of quepus. Number 3, which of the following statements are true of the Kalinagos? And the answer is 1, 2, and 3, which is all of the above. They adopted many Tainos customs. They were skilled sailors and fishermen. They fiercely resisted Spanish invaders. And so that's D, 1, 2, and 3. Number 4, we have a nice diagram here. The item 4 refers to the following map showing part of the Caribbean and South America. And so you have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So the question asks, the area where the Kalinagos lived before they migrated to the Caribbean island is labeled, and the answer is 3. So that's C, 3. Number 5, which of the following best explains why many Kalinago women spoke the Tainos language? And the answer is C. Taino women were often captured by Kalinago warriors. Number 6, which 2 European countries were arch rival in the setting up of the colonies in the Americas in the early 16th century? And the answer is A. Portugal and Spain. Number 7, which is the correct order from most to least powerful of European social groups in the 1400s? And the answer is D. Kings were first, most powerful, then priests, then merchants, then the lowly peasant. Number 8, the main reason why the English attempted to break the Spanish monopoly in the New World was to B. Obtain a share of the wealth of the New World. Number 9, item 9 refers to the following statement. The authorities began the practice of allowing the Spaniards to extract labor and collect tribute from the Indians. In return, the Spaniards were to see that the Indians were protected and converted to Christianity. Number 9, the practice referred to in the statement was known as, and the answer is D, the encomienda system. The encomienda system. Number 10, the Dutch may be called the foster fathers of the French and British settlers in the Caribbean in the 1600s, mainly because of their, and the answer is D, they were traders who kept the settlers supplied with foodstuff and other essential goods. Number 11, which of the following resulted from the change over from tobacco to sugarcane cultivation in the Caribbean? You have some options here. Number 1, the mulatto population declined. Number 2, the black population increased. Number 3, the number of landowners declined. And so the best answer here is number 2 and 3, which is the black population increased and the number of landowners declined. Number 12, which is the following ports were British slave ships most likely to visit during the 1700s? And of course the answer is B, Kingston, Jamaica. Number 13, the term barracoon is best associated with the C, housing of captive persons on the African coast. Number 14, it is true to say that enslaved Africans in the British Caribbean were D, encouraged by their owners to farm on small provision grounds. Number 15, the large importation of enslaved Africans into the Caribbean during the 1600s and 1700s was mainly due to C, the expansion of the profitability of the sugar industry. Number 6, the rise of King Sugar. Number 16, an enslaved African in the British Caribbean who stole from the plantation owner was least likely to be charged a fine. C, charged a fine. I mean, they can't pay for it, so after all. Number 17, which of the following was not a similarity between the Maroons of Jamaica and those of Suriname? And the answer is A, they both signed peace treaties with the British. Number 18, Toussaint Louverture contributed to the success of the Haitian Revolution mainly by C, organizing the enslaved into formidable fighting force. Number 19, in 1763, a major uprising of enslaved Africans took place in the Dutch colony of A, Berbice, the Berbice Rebellion. Number 20, which is the following were consequences of the Haitian Revolution. And we have some options here. 1, all mulattoes left the island. 2, all enslaved Africans were freed. 3, the colony gained political independence. And so the answer here is 2 and 3, which is C. All enslaved Africans were freed and the colony gained political independence. Number 21. Which of the following was the main purpose of the policy of amelioration? And the answer here is D, to improve the conditions of the enslaved in the British Caribbean. 22. Lord Mansfield is most closely associated with the declaration that C, slavery was not legal in England. Slavery was not illegal in England. 23. Which of the following duties was not performed by the stipendiary magistrates? And the answer here is B, teaching the apprentices new trades. Number 24. Which of the following did the amelioration measures of 1823 propose? So we have some options here. No enslaved woman should be flogged. Enslaved families should not be divided. Enslaved persons should not be sold as payment for debt. And so the answer is D, all of the above. Number 25, the British government was reluctant to authorize African migration after the abolition of slavery, mainly because C, the scheme could lead to a new form of slavery. Number 26, most of the immigrant workers used in the Cuban sugar industry in the 19th century were B, Chinese. 27, which factor best explains why East Indians did not return home after a period of indentured was over? And so the answer is A, some of them accepted grants of money or land. 28. Which cultural element did indentured workers from Madeira bring to the British Caribbean? And of course the answer is D, the Portuguese culture. 29. Which of the following did not result from immigration of indentured labor to the Caribbean after emancipation? And the answer is B, expansion of sugar production in Barbados. 30. The majority of immigrants brought to work in the British Caribbean in the years between emancipation and the First World War were employed as unskilled laborers. 31. Which of the following groups helped in the formation of the free villages in Jamaica? And the answer is B, the missionaries. 32. There were more free villages in Jamaica than there were in Barbados, mainly because A, in Jamaica more land was available for settlement. 33. Which of the following territories contain the most crown lands? And of course the answer is C, Guyana, Jamaica, and Trinidad. 34. Which of the following was not a means by which freed Africans acquired land after emancipation? And the answer is D, receiving free crown lands. 35. Which of the following was not a result of the development of the peasantry in the British Caribbean after 1838? And the answer is B, legal recognition of practices of obeah. 36. The policy by which the United States government was actively involved in the directing of financial affairs of the Caribbean between 1905 and 1930 was known as dollar diplomacy. 37. Which of the following was the immediate cause of the United States declaration of war against Spain in 1898? And of course B, the USS Maine was blown up in Havana Harbor. 38. Which of the following was intended mainly to prevent further extension of the European influence in the New World? And the answer here is the Monroe Doctrine. 39. The adherence of the United States to the Monroe Doctrine may force the United States, however reluctantly, in case of wrongdoing or impotence, to exercise of an international police power. The statement above is associated with President Theodore Roosevelt. 40. Which of the following Caribbean territories was not occupied by the U.S. military forces in the early 1900s? And so the answer is C, Jamaica. 41. Which of the following personalities was not directly associated with the riots of the 1930s in the British Caribbean? And so the answer here is George Price of Belize. 42. Which commission was sent to investigate the conditions in the Caribbean as a result of the 1930s disturbances? And the answer is C, the Moyne Commission. 43. Which of the following contributed strongly to the protests of the 1930s in the British Caribbean? And you have some options here: low level of wages, high rates of unemployment, strength of trade unions. And so the answer here would be B, 1 and 2. 44. Most Caribbean political leaders in the 1930s advocated constitutional changes mainly to A, obtain self-government. 45. Marcus Garvey is best remembered for his B, teachings on black nationalism. 46. Which of the following considerations most influenced the decision to form the British West Indies Federation of 1958? And the answer is B. Federation would help the independence movement. 47. By the referendum of 1961, Jamaica decided to A. Withdraw from the federation. 48. One feature of the 1958 federation was that the government of each territory would C. share power with the federal government. 49. Which Caribbean territories were assimilated by France in 1946? And we have D. Guadeloupe, French Guiana, and Martinique. 50. In what order did the following countries gain political independence? You have Guyana, Jamaica, Grenada, and the answer is B. So that's Jamaica first, Guyana second, and Grenada third. Number 51. Jose Marti is associated with the struggle for independence in Cuba. Jose. Alright, 52. We have a bunch of numbers here. Refers to the following chart, which shows sugar production in 4 British Caribbean territories during the period of 1815 to 1894. In which territory did sugar production experience a steady decline? And so the answer is A, Territory 1. Alright, 53. The Cuban sugar industry in the 1800s received most of its capital from B, the United States. 54. Which of the following British Caribbean territories was first granted adult suffrage? And the answer here is A, Jamaica. 55. Universal adult suffrage is best described as the rights of citizens of a specific age to vote. 56. What is the correct order of the abolition process? And so we have A, abolition of the slave trade, then we have amelioration, emancipation, and then apprenticeship. 57. Which of the following statement is true of Cuba in the 1800s? And the answer is A, it had become a major sugar producing territory. 58. In which of the following territories was Elmer Francois an active trade unionist? And the answer is C, Trinidad. 59. Which of the following persons was an important trade union leader in Guyana? And the answer is D, Herbert Nathaniel Cridgelow. 60. Which of the following persons was the Prime Minister of the West Indies Federation? And the answer is B, Grantley Adams. So that has been the May-June 2017 Caribbean History Paper 1. So that's it for now. You know what to do. You like, you subscribe, and also you share the link, share with your friends. And so you have to hit the notification bell also, so that you know when a next video would have dropped from this channel, Learn SKN. Alright, thanks for watching, thanks for listening.